And we are live with another episode of BS Busters. I'm joined by, well, I'll let them introduce themselves. So who wants to go first?
Well, the lady go first.
All right.
Thank you. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, gamers of all ages. This is Joe Moonstar, the gaming mage, and welcome to the BS Busters. Of course, we got plenty to offer, but first, my friends have something to say.
And this is Biggie Dog from Video Game Facts. Currently, I'm watching Shark Week because it's that time of the year again. We're celebrating the 30th anniversary. And just now in our Discord server, one of our contributors found a juicy detail to bust some BS on.
Well, that's great
regarding Capcom.
Well, that's great because I'm always into busting BS, even if it's Capcom, Konami, Nintendo, Sega, Sony, whomever. If it's bullshit, it needs to be busted. So without much ado, let's get into it. News of the week.
Okay, let's start out with the news that one of our contributors, Falcon Launch, has found from Reset ERA. It involves the game Deep Down by Capcom. And here's what it says. Okay, I shouldn't, but for anyone curious, here's the story of what happened to Deep Down. The game is over 5 years old now. Maybe it's a good time for this to come out publicly. Deep Down was a sinkhole for Capcom. That announcement trailer, it was freaking BS. At the time, the engine could only run 2 to 8 frame rates per second. How that trailer was made was they took screenshots of the game and turned it into footage and did the sound for it. I'm not kidding. Even once the engine got off the ground to be more functioning, the game would still only run around 5 to 25 frames per second. The engine could produce some good visuals, but it ran like
ass.
Yes.
Yeah.
More so, what was completed for the project simply was not fun. Everyone who ever got to try it realized the game was not coming together. On top of this, the Phanta Ray engine, which internally was known as the Sophia engine, was really hard to work with. It had terrible user interface and was very unintuitive and a chore to use. Capcom sank so much time and money into it, but ultimately realized it was a failing project. All of the people working on it one day were told to just stop. The game was sent to another segment of Capcom to try and save, quote-unquote, the project, porting it to the Unreal Engine, and it was never officially canceled, but it kind of just silently died.
It's in limbo.
Many people within the company did not even know what happened to it and where it currently is. It's probably some Capcom storage basement somewhere. Oh no, has lost a lot of power within the company, so he likely won't be able to bring it back. Plus, it was a financial disaster for them, and the much, much, much better RE engine came from the ashes of the Phanta Ray / Sophia engine. So unless Capcom decides to remake it from the ground up one day,
which probably ain't gonna happen,
it'll probably never see the light of day. The actual Deep Down people know ran like crud and was not fun, and it kind of just disappeared when being ported to the Unreal Engine. End of story.
Eesh.
I mean, basically, when they showed Deep Down, I thought, okay, this is like from the art style and the gameplay that they showed, or at least the trailer, the action in the trailer. It looked like it was going to be a spiritual successor to Dragon's Dogma. But the thing is that Dragon's Dogma already had an engine with assets, so I don't know why they created a new engine. I don't know. Capcom's weird. I mean, basically, they're weird.
And this revelation of news broke out saying that it wasn't as good as it was going, as it looked.
Well, I'm gonna be. I mean, I don't know if it was good or not, because I mean, they're games that I might enjoy. That's terrible. So that other people might find him terrible. So I can't go on that. The technical things he's mentioning are a little too specific, so that probably is the case. Probably is kind of shitty. It probably didn't run very well, but you know, it's Capcom, so Capcom loves
making things complicated.
I was saying snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. It's like, man, all you got to do is just release. So now we know part of the reason why Capcom has just been so broke lately, because they were pumping money into this shit and other failed projects that didn't pan out. So now we know.
All right, so moving on to
So you're not getting sick too.
There was originally going to be a horror game starring Tingle from the same team who made those Tingle spin-off titles like Rupee Land.
Well, that's weird because that
is odd because Tingle's been that character that everybody in one region hates, another region loves.
Well, that's putting it highly. I don't think the people in Japan love Tingle either. I think there's a very small subset of fans, of Zelda fans, who are fond of him, but Zelda's not that popular in Japan anyway. So, I mean, I don't think anyone loves Tingle.
Basically, the cancellation of the proposal of the Tingle horror game was what led to the creation of Dylan's Rolling Western.
That's good. I like Dylan's Rolling Western. But I mean, what do you think? I mean, what do you think about a Tingle horror game, Joel? Do you think it would have worked?
I got that WTF face on me, meaning I don't know what the beep are these guys on. They're thinking that.
It's already pretty horrible. A 35-year-old man who dresses like a fairy because he was kissed by a really hot queen fairy, and now he wants to be a fairy so he can get with the hot queen fairy. I mean, that's pretty horrifying within and of itself.
As I said, I already got the WTF alarm on.
And then you have to factor in everything we know about Tingle, just in the West, because I know there's like a Japanese game that explains the backstory I just gave you, but that game was never localized. If you want to play it, you basically have to find other ways to play it. Import or find other methods. But the last time we saw Tingle, the first time we saw Tingle, he was in Majora's Mask. And the second time we saw Tingle, it was in Wind Waker, where he basically had enslaved some people to grind at this mill, like Conan the Barbarian style. I mean, and think about it. He's a 35-year-old man who dresses like a fairy. So, I mean, there's some sick shit going on there. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere Tingle has a dungeon where he has people that are being tortured, hung, drawn, and quartered, and put in saw-like traps. And instead of you have to make yourself be thankful for what you have, it's like, you have to help me find fairies and help me make decrypt maps, or else, bitch.
And we have a YouTuber who created a meme out of wearing just a Tingle outfit.
Wow.
Or as Tingle would say, Kululimba.
Well, actually, he just dresses up as a Tingle outfit, then jumps into the floor, and then stares at the camera saying, "I'm gay."
Hey, he's just really look. He took here's the thing, okay.
Sorry, my WTF meter broke. Give me a moment.
Here's the thing: if you understand Tingle, look, the reason he dresses the way he does is because he wants to be a fairy. Why does he want to be a fairy? Well, if you play the Tingle game that only came out on the Game Boy Advance in Japan, or maybe it was the DS. It was one of those two handhelds. Basically, it explains that the reason Tingle dresses like a fairy and wants to be a fairy is because one day he was out on an adventure and he saved a fairy queen during this adventure who was really, really hot. Like like insanely hot, and she
a lot
laid
better than some of the fairies that we've seen so far in the Legend of Zelda series.
I don't know. The Twilight Princess fairy was hot. The fairy queen, who actually was just like, did you notice she got consecutively, as you went deeper into the Cave of Trials, like she got consecutively skimpier clad, and she was pretty good looking. Hell, Midna in her adult form was pretty hot too, but that's neither here nor there. I mean, basically, it's implied in the game that she doesn't just kiss Tingle; she full on goes all the way. Okay, so that's why. I mean, it's basically just taking a man doing things in order to get the attention of a woman too far. Like normally, most men, I have a good job, I dress nice, I smell nice in order to be attractive to women. I learn how to flirt well in order to be attractive to women. He takes it a little too far. I'm going to dress like a fairy in order to be attractive to this certain type of woman. So it's weird. But no, Tingle is not
works
gay.
hard for his goal. You gotta give him that.
Yeah, Tingle is not gay. Weird? Yes.
Highly.
Gay? No.
No.
No, he's not gay.
He just works a little too hard for what he wants.
But
considering that production never even started for this horror game concept, I suspect it's going to be references to modern day horror movies like Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Saw. Kind of like how one of the Tingle games was a parody of Wizard of Oz.
Well, that could be. Possibly.
Some of the weirdest things do you ever hear?
Anyway, moving on. Other news. Hot Wheels is going to be selling some Mario Kart
figures.
Yeah, Mario Kart toys.
That's pretty cool for some collectors. That's for sure.
Yeah, they announced it at the San Diego Comic-Con, which I went to.
Yeah.
At least they're not amiibos, so be thankful. Though I just realized, you said that you were going to mention some other things from Comic-Con that are gaming related?
Yeah, they're video game related. Yeah. The first thing I did when I went to Comic-Con was play some Smash Brothers Ultimate, which is at the video game area. And it was 2 matches per session. And the line is long, but it moves really fast because of the 2 matches per session thing. If you win a match, you win yourself a pin. I won both matches and got myself 2 pins. On the first match, I got to try out the Pokemon trainer, the female variant.
Does the Pokemon trainer play? I mean, how does it play? How does it feel? Like, is it similar to how the Pokemon trainer played before, except without the fatigue mechanic?
Yep, they play exactly the same, minus the fatigue. Also, Charizard doesn't have Rock Smash, but it still has Flare Blitz.
Okay, that works. That works for me. I can deal with that.
Plus the switch outs are much faster.
Yeah, I can understand that.
I'm actually glad and a little sad about it because the switch out was what saved me from one of Brawl's worst bosses and being almost KO'd on the spot. So that being said, knowing that it switch out a lot faster, that actually would help pretty good if you're trying to do combos.
Yep. Especially if you're trying to serve, is also for survival longevity, since Charizard's a heavyweight.
Yeah, but I mean, the cool thing about the Pokemon trainer is basically the Pokemon trainer is like 3 different weight classes in one character.
Squirrel being the lightweight.
Yeah, light, medium,
and Charizard the heavy, of course.
Yeah, that can kind of fly or glide. It's got good aerial ability for a heavyweight.
Of course, my gameplay was a bit rusty because the muscle memory from other games I played.
Yeah, I could see that. Smash Brothers is one of those games that's just very.
It's easy to pick up, but it's hard to really get a feel for it at times, depending on which character you go for.
Right.
Kind of, yeah.
Now, for the second match, I got to try out Ridley because I've been wanting to try out a meme character for the longest time, and Ridley has been known to be a meme character because of Ridley is two big memes.
I thought you'd go Animal Trainer. I mean, not Animal Crossing villager, because that motherfucker looks like a serial killer.
Yeah.
Good one.
Yeah.
He's like, sure, I'll help you as soon as I finish burying this body in my backyard. With that dull stare.
Yeah, that was an actual meme as well when the villager was first revealed. So anyway, I had no idea what to do. I had no idea what to do as Ridley, so I was constantly jumping and button mashing to see what works and what doesn't. So I still won miraculously.
Well, you have to remember, you probably have a lot of experience. Like Ridley's a heavy character, and like heavy characters, generally speaking, even if
played averagely, they could last a while on the battlefield.
Well, I was going to say heavy characters have a distinct style because they're heavy. Like generally speaking, heavy characters tend to have a bigger hitbox. They tend to move not quite as quickly.
They usually move slower, and they're able to take damage, but that can only help for so long.
Well, they hit hard. They hit hard, but they're a large hitbox, so you don't have to aim as much to hit them. But you know, it's the trade-off. They hit hard, but it's hard for them to dodge. But if you got that R roll thing down, it doesn't matter.
And I had two more matches of Smash Ultimate at the Nintendo Lounge to end my day.
Really? Did you play as the same characters or as new characters?
New characters.
Okay.
First match was as Inkling, and I was completely terrible as the Inkling because I was struggling how to refill my ink.
Yeah, you have
Shield
to.
and B.
You have to go into the ink in order to replenish your.
I said shield and B.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's how it works?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's a really complicated way to.
Especially if you're in a
crowded battlefield.
Yeah, it works. It works in Smash. It works in Splatoon because that's how you move around. So you're constantly, if you're moving around quickly in your squid form, you're refilling your ink anyway. But in Smash Brothers, it's not quite.
You need some room for that stunt.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I lost a match as Inkling.
And who was your second character?
Because of my lack of knowledge of knowing how to refill my ink.
Okay. And what was the second character you played as in the lounge?
Zelda.
Of course.
Toon Zelda, Chic Zelda.
There's no Toon Zelda.
It was a link. It was a Link to the Past / Link Between.
Yeah,
Worlds.
sorry. Well, I mean, technically, the Link Between Worlds Zelda is kind of another version of Toon Zelda, basically.
Not really.
Because Link to the Past, Link is supposed to be yeah, it's a different So that one, not Chic Zelda.
No.
Okay.
Just regular a Link Between Worlds Zelda.
All right.
And that match I did win as.
Yeah, because aside from aesthetically, I don't think she would play much differently than what she's been doing.
But she did gain a few. But she did gain a couple of buffs. Like she's no longer helpless after using Din's fire in the air.
Okay, that works. So they made her more viable for competitive play.
Yep.
Or I shouldn't say for competitive play, just More viable.
And I was remembering how weird that that armor setup is. Like you're trying to charge that armor up for a big attack, or you could actually do a quick strike and only get chip damage with those heals.
Yeah, I tried. Yeah, I did try it out. I did see the new mechanical change for her downbeat move, the armor, the phantom armor. If it's you can summon it even if it's incomplete, and if it gets destroyed, you can use its parts as items to throw at your opponents.
So they made her into a more versatile character.
Yep,
is what you're saying. Well, I mean that's good. I mean, basically, I think Smash Brothers is at its best when every character is capable of being
a Smash hero.
Well, is capable of being able to is playable and can fight.
Yeah, no. I hope they somehow nerf Diddy Kong to a beeping ground.
With his hoo-has.
Yeah.
I don't think he was ever.
He's annoying as fudge,
OP.
even when nerfed.
I don't think he was ever really OP though.
OP, I'm not sure of, but annoying, hey, yes.
Well, yeah.
Diddy is a top tier character, but he's not as good as Bayonetta and Cloud. And Sheik.
I mean, the thing that makes Diddy a useful character isn't his moveset so much. It's the fact that Diddy has the speed of a light character, and yet his smash attacks are like they hit hard. He hits hard for a character who's a medium character. Like Diddy's weight is a medium character. His speed is like a light character. And then he's got deceptively long reach with some of his attacks. His smash attacks hit hard for a character that's medium. It's almost like a weaker some of his smash attacks.
He's like a low level heavy, right?
Basically, yeah. It's like you're getting hit by a low level heavy. That's what I noticed about Diddy in the previous games. It was like, damn, this dude hits kind of hard. I mean, I like Diddy Kong, so I wasn't mad about it, but.
I consider him annoying as much as Bayonetta. Cloud, I haven't ran into him a lot.
I know some people like him. I don't. But some people do. Some people like that bastard.
Moving on from Smash. Also, Kingdom Hearts 3 was also available at the Comic-Con, but Square Enix doesn't want to be as cool like Nintendo by...
I was going to say, Vaporware is finally real again.
No, that's Final Fantasy VII Remake. Nailed it.
As I was saying, Square Enix doesn't want to be cool as Nintendo by only allowing people who they distributed their tickets to for each day to play the Kingdom Hearts 3 demo.
And they can have it.
So basically,
considering the platforms they put it on, yeah, they can have it.
Mm-hmm.
And which is a shame because I wanted to try out the demo.
I'm sure you did. If you're lucky, they'll probably release a demo for PS4, Xbox One. Maybe PC. I don't know.
Too bad I don't own any of those two consoles.
Well, make friends with someone who owns the Xbox One and PS4 and go to their house and. That's how we used to do it back in the day.
Yeah, if anything, that's at least a good way to test something without actually owning something in a sense.
It's like you don't have a dog, but your friend has a dog. So it's like you have a dog secondhand. Except you don't have to clean up its shit or anything. So
and I forgot to mention something that was hilarious to me. While I was playing as Ridley, I was up against 3 Fire Emblem characters.
And you kicked all their asses. Good.
Yep.
I mean, look, it's not that I dislike Fire Emblem. I'm just Fire Emblem.
You're tired of.
I need a break from Fire Emblem. Yeah, I need a break from Fire Emblem.
It was basically a Metroid versus anime match, which I find it symbolic because Metroid fans are really angry towards the Fire Emblem fan base getting more characters than they do in Smash.
Considering that
but
Metroid only has about 2 characters that are usually reoccurring, that's not much to help them.
Yeah, that's about it. Unless they want to add random space pirate. Like if they add random space pirate and random Federation Marine to it, then maybe that would work. But why?
I was gonna say, and if you're going to go after other characters that were symbolic for their time, they only appeared in one game.
Yeah, I mean, like there's some cool characters that I wish were in more games, like Gore, Gandrada, Rundas, but they died, so they didn't make it. No sequel. I mean, and you can't make Samus's ship into a character because that would just be weird.
That's trolling in another light.
Well, since Ridley's in the game, I mean, maybe the ship transforms into battle armor, like really large battle armor, and that's a new character.
Or what about Mother Brain in its bipedal form from Super Metroid?
Yeah, since we're going with large, or hell, how about Kraid? He doesn't even move. It's just his upper body and his arms. He can't really jump or anything. He just Kraid. And we use, or even better, you get Kraid, and it's the little baby, it's the little unmutated Kraid. But when it gets a Smash Ball, it turns into the giant Kraid, and you hear it. No matter what stage, it turns into the Kraid battle music.
Oh, we're having fun with us.
I'm a Smash fan. I don't know what to say.
There were some other games that were at the Comic-Con that I didn't have the chance to try out, like the Resident Evil 2 remake and the Mega Man X collection.
Yeah, but I mean, does the Mega Man X collection really need to be tried out? I mean, Mega Man X.
Mega Man has been through all kinds of systems.
I mean, those games have already come out so many times. I mean, unless they come out with a new game, then I'd be like, okay, that's surprising.
Mega Man 11.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Mega Man 11.
Yeah, but that's Mega Man 11. That is a legitimately new game. But Mega Man, like the Mega Man X collection, is just old shit being brought over. It's not a new game. It's not new. It's not a new Mega Man.
I was gonna say the Mega Man X collection could be a good game for certain systems that never had it.
Well, yeah. But what I was about to say is that like the Mega Man, the Mega Man X collection already came out on the GameCube and the PS2 and the original Xbox. Now, I mean, it's cool they're bringing it to PC because. I mean, like I think the first 3 Mega Man X games were reported to PC, but they ran like ass. So it's good that that's being brought over. But I mean, like and besides, all you need is the first 4 games. The last 4 suck, especially that one that's in 3D with Axel and Zero, and you don't get X until you're halfway through the damn game, but he's not leveled up at all, so then you have to go through all these levels all over again in order to upgrade him. Oh god.
That one was a disaster. At least the game after it at least tried to make up for it.
And how the hell are you gonna do the Mega Man X collection and not have Mega Man X Command Mission in it?
And that's the odd one out. But seriously, why didn't you at least try to add it in as a bonus game that if you complete a certain mission?
Because it's Mega Man X. It's a Mega Man X game, and it's
you can say the same about Mega Man and Base. Why it's not in Mega Man?
Yeah, I asked the same question because like they're like, this is the Mega Man collection. I'm like, where's Mega Man and Base or Mega Man
the Wily Wars?
No, Mega Man. It's like Battle Coliseum where there's like 2 of them, and it's just
Battle Network.
It's not Battle Network.
Oh, you mean you mean the Mega Man arcade games? Like
yeah, that are just Robot Master fights. I mean, why not those 2 games? I mean, like that's my problem with Capcom is that they lack consistency with their games. Like I'm like, I don't understand this. Like, they're doing all these collections, and they're like, we're only going to bring back old shit. Well, where's my Battle Network collection? There's like 5 or 6 games in that whole damn series. Bring them over. Star Force.
Probably because they contain more memory than the old games.
Nah, I think Capcom's just lazy, full of shit. Because I know the Battle Network games are. If you got all 6 of the Battle Network games and put them in a software shell with a upfront GUI, so that people could switch between the games, maybe have save states, that'd be less than what the Mega Man X collection has in terms of
as memory space.
Storage. Yeah, so that's just Capcom doesn't want to do it.
Here's the thing,
you know,
the Mega Man Battle Network series is a perfect thing of online possibilities, and yet they aren't doing it. Yeah. This is Capcom stupidity, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it's Capcom. They're pretty fucking stupid. I said this
is Capcom stupidity.
Yeah.
They have something great on their hands, but
I mean, really, if there ever was a franchise that really needs to be brought back in the Mega Man series, they're bringing back the original Mega Man. I'm happy. I'm looking forward to Mega Man 11. But what the hell happened in Battle Network or the 3D Mega Man games? Which with today's, with better 3D imaging and technology and design, you could make a bomb-ass Mega Man 3D game.
From what I understand, the Battle Network series is already concluded. You should be asking the Star Force series, because that one has been left unfinished.
No, that one had an ending. No, the Star Force series had an ending, because I have all those games. At the very end, your character basically digitizes himself. Well, he turns himself to a radio wave and goes to the Black Star, frees his father, destroys the bad guy who's holding his father hostage. And he comes back to Earth thinking that, oh no, the predation evil kind of anti-hero Mega Man sprite guy has left me. And then he shows up with his friend. He's like, no, I'm not dead. I managed to get out in time. It has an ending. It literally has an ending. You could totally do a Battle Network follow-up. Just do Lan when he's an adult. Now he's like one of those net police people. You could pull it off. It's not like, oh my God, we can't do another one. You totally could.
There's possibilities. Seriously.
You could,
especially since Mega Man can't age in cyberspace.
You could change it so that it's like set further in the future. So it's like instead of having to use their Navi things in order to like plug them in with a wire, it's now all wireless. So you know, and the radio thing, I mean, the radio thing was pretty cool anyway. But I mean, just because they have an ending to the story doesn't mean you can't continue it. It's like you could do a sequel to Chrono Trigger, no problem. Because
I mean, they did it with Dracula and Castlevania.
Because Chrono Cross doesn't exist. But I mean, you know, they could do it. The only game series that I think should never have a sequel to any of their games is Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy doesn't need sequels. But aside from that,
somehow they pulled that off with 13 3 times,
which was shit all 3 times,
and 10, which got a girl's.
Which 10-2 was shit.
It wasn't that bad. It was 10-2 has a lot more going for it than the entire 13 series.
Yeah. So, but what I'm saying is that typically speaking, when they make a sequel to a Final Fantasy, it's worse than the original IP. It just feels derivative, like Final Fantasy IV, the After Years. Like it just feels like shit. It's like I don't know. No, the story was concluded.
What about 12? What about 12? It had a sequel on the DS.
And that was shit. Believe me, I played it. First of all, it wasn't even a real sequel. It was a strategy game where you like moved units around and shit. It just used the Final Fantasy 12 IP, property.
And then there's the unique case of Final Fantasy VII getting a sequel in the form of a movie called Advent Children.
Yeah.
Oh, God, don't remind me of the the Final Fantasy sagas.
It's like they didn't learn their lesson from the Spirits Within. But that's neither here nor there. Let's keep it moving. Any other news of the week topics you want to cover before we move on to the next topic?
Let's see.
Pinky.
Yeah, I'm going over.
What?
I'm going over for some news articles that came out recently.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Dragonball Fighters. The next two new DLC, Wave 1 DLC characters for Dragonball Fighters is Goku and Vegeta in their base forms, like the Saiyan Saga ones, meaning no Super Saiyan transformations, just their old school Kaioken.
We're doing the best we can with what we got. Yeah. Yeah, that's my favorite version of Goku. Because he's just way too fucking overpowered now these days.
And
I think everyone's way too fucking overpowered in Dragon Ball.
And base form Vegeta is based
If you're saying yes.
And base form Vegeta is based on his evil self, though he doesn't have no Zaru special form.
I don't think he was always. I think he was always kind of evil, bastard.
Oh, and Ukulele is a guest fighter for the Smash clone game Brawl Out.
Then I might have to get that game because I like Ukulele.
It's available on the Switch.
No, no. I'm not getting on the Switch.
It's also the game is also available on the Switch, but it's also on the PC and Xbox One.
Yeah, I think I can get it cheaper on the PC than I can get it on the Switch, so I'll probably get it on the PC because I'm cheap, and I'm okay, with that. Some people don't like that, but I'm okay with being a cheap bastard because that's what I do.
If you ask me, there's at least some way to make it cheaper on the Switch, but you're gonna probably at least find it annoying.
You got to use fake coins that you got with real money.
And moving back to the Mega Man topic, the Mega Man X Mega Mission is getting an English release early next year.
Mega Mission, that's that weird RPG, right? Like mobile RPG that they're now turning into a like console game.
Right.
Whatever. It's Capcom. It's probably gonna fuck up because it's Capcom.
Actually it's a comic book. It's actually a comic book called Mega Mission.
Oh, well, I guess that's cool. I don't know.
For somebody that likes certain things, I'm surprised that you weren't going for it in a sense. But then again,
like Capcom has all of these really awesome IPs that they're doing nothing with, like Bionic Commando, Captain Commando, Final Fight, Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, Alien versus Predator, the arcade game, Ruined Earth. They have so many great IPs that they're just sitting on doing not a damn thing with. So, I mean, I'm glad Mega Man is being brought back. Now all they have to do is X, Battle Network, and hell, shit, bring back the Zero games. I mean, not like exactly because that like Zero's story concluded with the fourth game, but like continue that franchise along, you know. I mean, you know, the X and Y one kind of sucked, but I mean, you can do better than that. Just make it better.
Next up, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe got an update. It updating both Link and the Master Cycle to match their Breath of the Wild variant.
And if I had that game on the Switch, I would be impressed. But since I don't, I mean, for those of you who have it on the Switch, good for you. So whatever works for you. Anything.
And of course, and the Octoling Amiibo set is being launched on November 7th. No, wait, I think it was December November 9th on Japan, and I think December 7th in the US.
Well, that's cool. I mean, I probably wouldn't do it, but if it works for them, good for them.
Oh yeah, and continuing yet again back to the Mega Man topic. The Mega Man cartoon Fully Charged is going to debut on August 5th.
I will not be watching it, so it's okay.
And that's about it.
Okay then. So I guess we can move on to the mid topic before we get to the main topic. We've got three fun topics that I would like you guys to answer. The first one is, what is a pet peeve you have? It doesn't have to be gaming related. That just really irks you. Not to the point of violence, but just like, man, this is just so stupid.
Multiple variations of the same character having their own separate slots in a fighting game or a party game or a racing game. Kind of like Metal Mario, Baby Mario, Tanuki Mario, Dr. Mario. Because they create time paradoxes to the Mario universe, because there's canonically only one Mario.
True, but I was going to say, as long as it's not in the main series game, that's going to be it can't be ignored to a degree.
I consider the sports games and the racing games part of the mainline series.
I don't, because like you have characters who really aren't in the same universe interacting with each other, and that doesn't make sense. So you can't really consider that.
And the reason why I know the RPG ones are really non-canon because, well, try explaining how the babies work.
It's not limited to just Mario though, but also like other fighting games like Street Fighter, like Evil Ryu having its own separate slot from regular Ryu rather than being.
Yeah, but then that doesn't make any sense because we know that Evil Ryu is just a form. It's like when the Dark Hado takes over Ryu and he turns into Evil Ryu.
Yeah, but having Evil Ryu having its own separate slot would create a time paradox in the Street Fighter universe.
You're trying to apply logic to something that is inherently illogical, which is a video game. It's not supposed to make sense. It's not supposed to be one for one. Because
I have to apply logic in my video games. It keeps my OCD in check.
Well, that explains it. You have OCD. That makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense.
It makes
yeah, but that's neither here nor there. So that's your pet peeve. I guess I got to go with mine. Or you can go, Joel, and I'll go last.
I was about to say, I thought I was going to get ignored for this one.
No, go ahead.
It's going to be probably a pet peeve that everyone has felt sometime in their gaming life.
Mm-hmm.
Having to work with simplified versions of what the true game is. As in, if a game thinks that you're so new to this that you need explanation after explanation, and it doesn't let you go on until you master, in a sense.
So course tutorials,
kind of like with Bayonetta's tutorial levels.
I was gonna say Fee from Skyward Sword. Hey, you might want to stop. It's like, could you shut the fuck up? I've been playing Legend of Zelda games for years. I know what I need to do.
I get you on that part. But as I said,
to be fair, the game was using Motion Control Plus, so it's a new mechanic.
No, but I mean, beyond that, it was just kind of annoying that she was just like.
Yeah, for me, as I said, if a game is trying to be so easy that everyone can get it, then there's an annoyance level that rises right at that spot.
Oh, you're talking Sticker Star Saga. That's what you're talking. That's Sticker Star Saga right there.
Thank you.
Have you never played an RPG before? Do you not want to worry about levels, skills, or of time to attacks, or party management? To hell with all that. Just use stickers.
And the fact that they make it so you could that you could still try to counter or block your opponent's attacks while only having stickers.
Yeah, you got to use special stickers for it, which is just kind of
BS.
Yeah. Sticker Star. I'm still mad about that game. I went and bought that game. I was like, man, Nintendo, they're bringing it back.
Glad I
got that game. Well, I'm like I said, I'm a Paper Mario fan.
I'm the one that looks before I buy, and
you have to remember
the game system triggers a red alert signal in your head.
You have to remember the previous game was so good. I mean, Thousand Year Door was so good. No, Super Paper Mario was good. It wasn't perfect, but it was pretty good. I was
gonna say it was the weird one.
Yeah, but let me put it this way: the story was good. The combat was kind of basic, but the story was good. So I was like, I'll still roll with it. But then they kicked us in the nuts with Sticker Star Saga, which was just, man, that was fucked up.
And I know that people are going to say this, but I'm going to take it right now. Even though Color Splash did do better than Sticker Star, that's like taking a slap in the face than a kick to the balls.
Trinell83 has a comment. The fact that Capcom will not go forward in time for Street Fighter means that any IP is up for grabs, even if its story is concluded. Well, I mean, like, here's the problem with Street Fighter, right? The characters in Street Fighter from Street Fighter 2 are so iconic that even if you see versions of them where they're older and aged, people don't want to see that. They want to see the core characters. The same thing happened to Soul Calibur. Like, people didn't want to see an old Mitsurugi, an old, decrepit, I'm an old man, but I can still kick your ass, Shiny. No one wants to see old, broke down Mitsurugi fighting. So, I mean, I can understand them not wanting to move time forward. Why they keep on doing all these weird, like Alpha was, like, 0 was a prequel. Alpha was between 1 and 2. It's weird. It's just really weird. I wish they would just fix their timeline, but whatever. But I guess it's my pet peeve. This has nothing to do with gaming. I hate when you go to a store or a restaurant that has a menu, but not like a high-end restaurant, like a sandwich shop or a chip shop or a fast food restaurant. And there's a menu in front that everyone can see, and you're in line waiting, and people have been looking at the menu, and it's like a decent wait for the line, like maybe 2 or 3 per person.
4 minutes.
So they at least have like 5, 6, 7 minutes walking through the line and look at the menu. They spend 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe even 10 minutes walking through this line, looking at the menu. They get to the front register and they say, "I haven't made my decision. Let me look at the menu." It's like, motherfucker, you've been looking at the menu for the last 10 minutes and you still don't know what you want. Or, this is an addendum pet peeve. You go someplace and you have someone with you, and you go someplace that everyone knows their menu, like a Burger King or a McDonald's or, Taco Bell if you don't go very often. But Burger King and McDonald's, even if you don't eat at Burger King or McDonald's, you pretty much know what they have on their menus. Fries, burgers, cheeseburgers, a chicken sandwich of some type.
Chicken
strips. They're like, I need to look at the menu and figure out what I want. It's like, their menu hasn't changed in 50 goddamn years. You know what's on the menu. Pick something so we can leave. I got shit to do.
But didn't you complain about staleness? I mean, Sticker Star and Color Splash were a breath of fresh air from the form to the formula.
There's breath of fresh air, and then there's
terrible
gameplay.
Okay. How would you feel if the next inline Pokemon game, they're like, okay, we're getting rid of the 4 moves. Instead, you only have 1 per Pokemon. you can only have one move per Pokemon. Okay, you would say, oh, and the 6 Pokemon you can have, fuck that. You can only have 3.
I mean, I would accept that if it was its own spin-off title rather than.
No. They said this is the next game in the Pokemon mainline game in the franchise. You would say, why is, and they're like, oh, and you know how you had to know about typing and stuff like that? Fuck that. Just whatever Pokemon has the higher stats. And oh yeah, you know, the 6 different stats that they have and natures, to hell with all that. The only stats that matter is speed, power.
What you're describing is the Pokemon Rumble games.
And what I'm saying what I'm saying is that that's basically what they did with Paper Mario. It went from being a very like a kind of like the original Paper Mario kind of got you into it and you enjoyed it. And then they did Thousand Year Door, which was even more complex. And then they made Super Paper Mario, which was kind of dumbed down a little bit, but still pretty good. But Jesus, Sticker Star, fuck, oh God, terrible. And they haven't really learned because they did the Paint Star game. Sorry, Color Splash, which is a little bit. I mean, like here's the thing: after the rock bottom that was Sticker Star, anything better than that would seem like much better, even though it isn't really. Because I mean, Color Splash is okay. It's not great. It's not as good as Thousand Year Door. I'll tell you that much. It really isn't.
That I can agree on, but still.
But yeah. What I just described was a very dumbed down version of Pokemon. Now, what if, which is what I mean, I personally don't like, is a very dumbed down version of games, because basically that goes against gaming logic. Like the point of gaming logic is
evolution.
And I'll use Mario as an example, right? The first Mario game, like that's well known, is Super Mario Brothers on the the Famicom or the NES. That game is very simple. I mean, at the time it was revolutionary, but if you're looking at it by today's standards, it's a very simple game. You run to the left, you dodge shit, you hit blocks to get power-ups, you jump on enemies to defeat them. If you can't do that, you occasionally get a power-up that lets you, the Fire Flower, which lets you shoot fireballs at people. It's a very simple game, okay? It's very simple. Then you get Super Mario 2, which is a lot more, complex, because now you're going from running to the left to, in Super Mario Brothers 2, you're running to the left, you're running to the right, you're finding keys, you're getting chased by shit when you find the keys. You can friggin' go around jacking people's rides. Some poor bird person's like, yeah, man, I'm gonna retire tomorrow. I'm gonna take
their carpet.
I'm gonna take my kids. We're gonna fly off to a new land. I'm gonna retire tomorrow. It's gonna be great. Hey, I gotta take this. What? No, you fucker! And you take the ride and fly away with it. I mean, it's more complex. And then you have Mario 3, Super Mario 3, which adds a lot of suits and like a lot of different worlds. It continues the whole key thing. With secret paths and everything, which they kind of introduced in 2, but it's even more pronounced in 3. Like the Mario franchise, the Mario franchise has gotten more complex with each iteration. By taking, of course, they kind of ease you into it because the Mario games start off kind of easy, but you're supposed to get more complex to uplift your audience with you. The Paper Mario series had a different thing. The first game is kind of easy to get into, but it gets complex towards the end. The second game, Thousand Year Door, very complex. Super Paper Mario, a little less complex, but the story is very nuanced. Then you get Sticker Star, which is for fucking 3-year-olds. Brain damaged 3-year-olds. I mean, like, if they dropped a ice cream cone into a pile of dog manure, they'd reach down and lick it up with their tongue.
Yeah.
It's like Sticker Star is for really, like, if you haven't played an RPG ever, play Sticker Star, and you probably will get your ass kicked even then, because it's just too easy.
But doesn't the more complex the game becomes, the less it attracts casuals, because how scared they are with complexity?
Pinky, I'm going to say this, and you're going to hate me for this, but here it goes. You are seriously going to hate this. There's a thing called understanding your audience, and if you dumb down your game system to where even babies are getting this, and you're trying to split your audience into two different worlds and trying to put those.
But isn't that what the Wii did and it started that divide?
No. And
plus, I like how you like to play the devil's advocate, but no, because the Wii had casual games, but then it had complex games
too.
Here's the thing: you have games for different audiences. You don't take something that belongs to a complex audience and make it for children. The aesthetic might be very childlike. Like Yoshi's Island is a very whimsical-looking game. There are parts of that game that are hard. Okay, legitimately skilled platform players.
And I'll send you to the special levels for that one.
Not even the special levels. Like trying to get all those red coins in Yoshi's Island, because some of them are invisible, and you have to throw an egg to get them, but you wouldn't know unless you threw an egg. And it's that game gets. If you're someone like me and likes to 100% Mario games, Yoshi's Island is not for you, because that game is frustrating with the amount of shit that's in there. But that's neither here nor there.
And that's especially hard when you're trying to do all three of them in one run.
Yeah, so basically my point is this. You don't dumb down an existing franchise. What you do is you create a franchise to kind of ease people into that franchise. Personally, I don't think Nintendo should have done Metroid Metroid 2 Return of Samus Returns and tried to make it like Metroid Prime-y. The game's okay. It's not my I would have done that. I would have instead gone back to the gameplay style of Zero Mission and Fusion and just remade the game in that engine. Because that game, it's simple, and yet it introduces the core mechanics of Metroid to you. The exploration, the backtracking, the aha moment when you figure out an environmental puzzle and you find something and you have to use it. I know what they were going for, because a lot of people really fucking love Metroid Prime. People forget Metroid Prime is a spinoff. It's a hardcore. It's a spinoff of the mainline Metroid series. So, I'm just saying, I think people are a little too. I think core franchises need to stay the way they are. And then, Final Fantasy's having that problem now. They've casualized Final Fantasy so much it doesn't even feel like Final Fantasy. I played Final Fantasy 15. I beat Final Fantasy 15. Never when I was playing that game did I say this is Final Fantasy. I was like, it's an okay action adventure beat 'em up, but it's not Final Fantasy. Because it isn't. It's just not. So, it is what it is. You can't force people. Trinell 83. Oh, the dumbing down system like Baten K does. The first one was great. Then the sequel just had to mess that up. Yeah, they did. Yeah. I have both of those games. The first game is great. The second game is they're like, oh no, it's too complex for each character to have their own deck with their own cards, and people have to actually evaluate the strengths of different cards.
They have to be deck builders.
Oh God, heaven forbid you have to actually, crunch numbers and figure out combinations and shit. Here's the thing: it was based on poker. So it wasn't that hard to figure out. It wasn't like Yu-Gi-Oh or Magic the Gathering or
Schwartz.
No, Battle Masters, the Kaijudo Battle Masters. They did a cartoon about it, but it also is a legit card game. It's like number 4.
Duel Masters.
Yeah, Duel Masters. They just nothing. I'm like, damn, what's it? It's poker. It's fucking straights and flushes and pairs. It's not hard to do this. But anyway,
do you screw that up?
Yeah, gamers are I think that's the problem that franchises make. And plus, it takes too long to get new games out, so they feel like, oh, we have to get a bigger audience. It's like, yeah, but that's not how it used to be. Like how it was back in the day was the hardcore people would say, hey, this game's really good, and they invite you over. And the first time you're going to play a game, you're going to get your ass kicked. But over time, you're going to figure out how to do stuff, and you get better at it. You just have to make sure that the learning level and the frustration level, like when you still suck,
is worked over correctly.
Yeah, the learning level is better than your frustration level. So, I mean, yeah.
And RPGs especially have to do this carefully.
Yeah, because sometimes you're gonna die. Sometimes you're just gonna die, especially in RPGs. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've had game over screens in the game I've been playing now.
It's weird that I only had one game over in Octopath Traveler, by the way.
The demo or the game itself?
I'm doing the full game soon enough, so right now it's only the demo.
Okay, well, let's get to the second fun topic. We have a lot of fun with that one. I mean, Jewel laughed her arse off. Let me get to the second fun topic. Okay, what is your proudest gaming moment?
I got this one, in a sense.
I'll let you go first. Go ahead.
Proudest gaming moment is finally getting through a very hard difficulty with barely one HP remaining on my character. God.
What game?
It was actually a hack and slash, or at least a beat 'em up. Oh, now I remember now. It was Final Fight #1.
Oh yeah, that's a.
And let me just say this: it was painful to go through it.
Were you playing as Hagar? Hagar?
I was switching between Mike Hagar and Cody.
Okay.
As in, I was switching between the two on and off, but I defeated the final boss with Hagar.
See, you did it on the hard mode because the thing about it is that Belger has a crossbow gun that he shoots.
He has a gun and a crossbow. So
and the thing is like if you're Cody, you can punch the arrows out of the air, but if you're Hagar, it's much harder to do it because Hagar's punching speed is so much slower than Cody.
It's a timing thing, and if anything, I also try to get out of the way.
Yeah, but you can't use the same strategy against Belger that you could use against Eddie or Eddie, the corrupt police officer. Like just body slam a dude into him.
Eddie's the one guy that really gave me a pain in the rear end, especially when he grab smacks you.
Or Abigail, that some bitch. But anyway, I guess we should go with
the main topic.
No, we have. I mean,
one more.
You haven't given.
What about you guys?
Yeah, you haven't given your proudest moment, dude.
Yeah, let's see. Oh, probably completing 150cc and completing Mario Kart Double Dash 100%, getting all of the vehicles as a little kid.
Was the 64 or Wii or what?
It was a GameCube.
Double Dash?
Yeah, Double Dash.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I love Double Dash.
That was a tricky one, especially when you're trying to.
It was before I became an expert at Mario Kart, 3D Mario Kart games.
I like Double Dash. That's one of my favorites. I like the combinations you could do with the characters. So that was your proud gaming moment. That's cool. That's really cool. I'm
actually surprised that somebody knew what I was talking about when talking about Final Fight.
Final Fight. Oh yeah, that's like my favorite SNES beat 'em up. They're better, but there's just something so sweet
special about it.
About Final Fight. I don't know what it is, but there's something so gritty and fun about that game. I guess it's my turn. My proudest gaming moment was winning a GameCube Soul Calibur tournament with Mitsurugi. Just fought my way up through like 32 people.
You sword slashed all your opponents. Did you change weapons at least?
No. We were playing like you had to use default weapons, so no special weapons. And I mean, like here's a little secret people might not know about me. I used to play video games like semi-competitively, But the one game that I always like was really, really good at was Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur.
Yeah, Soul Calibur is the game, which is why it broke my heart when
seeing it
Namco
go
Bandai,
from
ran it into the ground. But Mitsurugi's like my favorite character. Okay,
yeah.
Like I really like playing as Mitsurugi because he's a samurai with a really deep voice, and he reminds me of Toshiro Mifune, who was a Korean Japanese guy with a really deep voice, an awesome 5 o'clock shadow.
And funny enough, my
like
favorite characters are Maxi and Talum.
Yeah, well, you probably like the fast characters because Maxi is really fun if you can get his changeovers.
Yeah, he's a medium speed character, while the two I go for are quick characters that can get into damages real quick and try to escape real quick too.
Yeah. If you really learn how to use Maxi's changeovers and Talum's changeovers, they're really good. But I like Mitsurugi because once you learn his stances, oh my gosh,
He's dangerous when you get the wrong stance coming against you.
Well, yeah, when you've got when you've got the stances, because each stance enhances the damage of different types of attacks. So, like his half moon stance does extra damage to vertical attacks. His full moon stance does extra damage to horizontal attacks. His his katana, like when his katana is sheathed, his defense goes up. So basically, it's like you have to like balance out his stances to determine the situation. But once you learn how to use Mitsurugi, he can be
As I say, he's dangerous when you get into the wrong stance against him.
So yeah, that's my proudest moment. I won the tournament, and what I got when I got to the final thing, the guy I had to go up against, ironically, was using like you could switch your character like twice, and the guy earlier, when I had seen him, he had been using Voldo. Who I don't like.
God, bondage guy himself.
Yeah, and then I don't like Voldo just because his moveset's weird. And then he switched to Ivy at the end because that was his second changeover. And he was like, he thought he was gonna kick my ass, but like I said, I'm really good with Mitsurugi, and I just decimated him. Just dominated his ass for 2 rounds.
I can imagine the sodium that you get. I can imagine the amount of sodium he was served.
Actually, no, he was actually pretty cool. He shook my hand, and I got my $50 gift certificate, so it was pretty nice.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to eat the
if he got angry, that's how I was going to say some sodium, because there's sometimes where especially if you do a perfect on them, that's when you see it.
No, the dude was actually pretty cool, which I was surprised by, but what are you going to do, But where am I going with this? Basically, yeah, that is my personal favorite. Smash game. That's my favorite. So let's move on to the second fun topic, and then we'll get to the main topic. One? Yeah, sorry, the third one. What game has a better home port than the arcade? Than the arcade game that's based on?
Turtles in Time.
Turtles in Time. Okay, I'll give that to you. Joel.
Ooh, that's a tricky one, but I actually say the game that we were talking about recently, which you probably would enjoy too, Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur.
Though the Street Fighter games were mixed for me, as far as I could guess. From Street Fighter 2 to arcade to the home editions.
I could see that. I guess I'll give mine. Gauntlet Legends. Gauntlet Legends on the arcade version. The arcade game is fun, but it's limited. The PS1 version, home version, sucks. The Dreamcast version is almost as a 1-for-1 arcade conversion with a few levels rearranged and like some extra characters added. and some fixes, like some 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 fixes. But really, the best version of that game, home version, is the home version for the N64 because it has new areas, new characters, alternate characters, better levels. I mean, and it actually is better than the PS1 version, on par with the in terms of like the amount of enemies on screen and stuff, with the Dreamcast version, even though the Dreamcast was a more powerful console. So yeah, it's one of my favorite consoles. It's one of my favorite arcade games. With an honorable mention for UN Squadron for the SNES, because the arcade game is just like a standard scrolling shooter, but the home version is almost like an RPG side-scrolling shooter where like you go out on missions, you get money, which you can then bring back and upgrade your get better weapons, upgrade your jet, like get better jets so that you can go around shooting stuff. There's like 3 playable characters, each one having stats. You know, one character might be faster in the air but have less health. Another character is balanced, and a third character is slower in the air, but the dude can take a lot of hits before he goes down. So I mean, the home version's really good. The arcade game, okay, but the home version's much better than the arcade game. But it's time for the main topic. Tips and tricks for Octopath Traveler.
And I could offer one tip right off the bat. If you save up your moves, if you save up your chain of power attacks for when it's about time for the big bosses to come and take a big swing at you, you're going to break their shield and give yourself some breathing room. Use it well, please.
That'll do. I'll tell you what worked for me in the game. This is just my own little personal thing. I don't want anyone getting angry or anything.
I was saying that for a general boss fight rule.
Here's what I'm going to say. For me, what's really worked for me in this game, this is the first tip, for Octopath Traveler is Cyrus is your friend, because Cyrus can analyze enemies, which can basically tell you their weaknesses. Once you learn how to hit their weaknesses with his more powerful magic spells, which basically do like 2 hits per attack.
I was going to say not all characters are able to hit twice in one turn or have alternate weapons, mind you.
Yeah, but for Cyrus, he doesn't have an alternate weapon, but his magic lets him hit twice per turn. If enemy's weak against that, it does extra damage. And once you unlock advanced jobs in the game, like one of my personal favorite advanced jobs, the Sorcerer, which makes Cyrus look like Doctor Strange. Like literally, he's got a cape and a chain, like the Eye of Agamotto. Like really, someone could say, "Hey, are you taking a few liberties there, Square Enix?" But yeah, the Sorcerer Advanced job lets you basically hit an enemy 3 times in a row, and it has all elements, including light and dark, which basically makes Cyrus into the ultimate DPS, mess your mama up.
Magic user.
The character that I started the game with is Oberek. He's basically a super tank, but he can also do DPS because basically, once you get his physical attack up to a certain point, you can use his sword slash, hit everyone sword slash thing and just wipe out enemies. Like break a group of enemies with magic and then use his sword slash that's been charged 2 or 3 times. You're doing like 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000, 12,000 plus damage per attack. Just that one time, and wiping out groups of enemies. That's what I've been doing.
That could clear the floor easy.
Yeah, that's basically my strategy I've been using. Also, here's something you might not know. While it is true that when you get rid of your secondary job, you lose all those little special attributes and such.
Those bonuses.
Yes, you lose those bonuses. You actually get to keep the support skills for those jobs. So if you get this game and you find out you maxed out a job class, a secondary job class, go and equip another and max out that one and get the support skills, because you can actually use those even if you don't have that secondary job equipped.
I was gonna say you can only equip so many support skills if I think about it. Right?
Yeah. You only have you only have 4, but I mean those support skills. Like for example, Cyrus, my magic user. He essentially has the ability to. He's a magic user. And so basically, if you have him, say, master the merchant skill, learn SP Saver, which halves your SP use, and then you add the dancing skill, the show must go on, which means you regenerate like 10% of your total SP every turn. So basically, once you get his SP up high enough, like you have the cost, and then have him regenerate like 14, 16, 17, 18 SP per turn. Basically, you can spam magic attacks and he'll never run out of SP. It's ridiculous. Just destroying enemies with magic. It's fun.
Your opponents will be crying in tears seeing all that magic coming right at their faces.
Yeah. I mean, this is the type of stuff that makes games like this worthwhile, is figuring out how to game the system. Pinky, any thoughts?
Well, I have yet to play Octopath Traveler, so I don't have any tips and tricks to offer.
That's okay.
At least, if anything,
hold it against you.
If anything, we probably just helped you on your way through either the demo or the full game.
Yeah, if you like stat crunching, then this game is for you. Which I'm, if
RPG lovers like us,
yeah, you're gonna have to stat crunch. Yeah,
this is a godsend.
Yeah. Now
I would try to grind like heck just so I could out level the enemies and the bosses.
Here's the thing: grinding really doesn't help you that much in this game, believe it or not.
That's the weird thing. The grinding only helps a little bit for me, since it means that I'm able to endure enough for a punch.
Yeah, basically grinding, like really what you're equipped with, how you use your skills in battle are more important than your grind. Although if you're way underleveled for an area, like, because there's some characters I personally just am not using very often, because it's like, I don't really like this character.
The character's feel doesn't cling to you, right?
I just don't keep them in my party because like there's other characters. Like why would I need Primrose when I have like the ultimate magic attacker with Cyrus on my side? Like, I mean, I didn't even put Therian in my class in my thing, even though he can steal everything, because
that is, unless you want to keep Primrose out of loyalty.
No, I mean, I like Primrose. Her story is really interesting, but the problem with Primrose is that her base stats suck because she's a dancer, and the dancer is only really good at she's good at stat buffing, so she can like buff everyone's stats, which is
I was gonna say that she's the only character that can't do much else unless you have a party with her. Starting with her means you're at a real handicap.
Exactly, and that's kind of the flaw with Primrose. The cool thing is that she can use the allure thing, which can basically get people to follow her. So then you've got a character who can essentially keep your ass. Like she can bring someone with her, but she can only
from being turned into grass.
Yeah, she can only allure one person at a time. So if she can allure a powerful person, it's really helpful.
And that's funny that I got a character named Ophelia that that kind of does the same in a sense.
Yeah, but she does guidance. Like the thing is that there's 8 characters in Octopath Traveler, and each of them is a dark mirror, is the mirror of the other. So Oberek is the honorable knight. His mirror is Hannet, the hunter. Both of them can challenge people, except Oberek does it like was a knight. We shall fight, and I shall, it shall be, I will not.
One fights with weaponry and swords, while the other uses beasts.
Yeah, Hannet's sicking monsters on people to savage their asses, and then you've got Cyrus. Cyrus is a scholar / mage. So he can inquire, he can analyze people. However, people don't like that, so they get angry. But then you have his mirror, which is Alfin, who's the physician / apothecary, who's like, he can inquire, which, as the doctor, he's like, well, what's going on? And people talk to him, and there's no problem. Then you have
which is funny.
Yeah. Then you have the merchant girl. Her dark opposite is the thief. And Ophelia, her dark is the almost like a nun type of cleric. Her dark opposite is Primrose, the dancing girl who was dancing in a damn brothel. So they who stabs motherfuckers with knives.
I probably am glad that I started on the north end of the map.
Well, do what you gotta do,
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, this game is very, very cool, and I love it for what it is. I wish more games
could work with this.
Oh yeah, we should try to bust some BS regarding Kotaku's claim on Octopath Traveler, how they managed to beat it in.
Oh yeah, that's bullshit. I have two. I did Oberek's story last. I finished his 4 chapters first, and then I did like 6 of the other 8 characters. No, 5 of the other, 4 of the other 8 characters. So I have 3 more stories left. I have to do the merchant girl story, Alfin's story, and Hannet's story. And then after that, there's the super dungeon that ties everything together, where you figure out what's all been going on. And yes, the stories are connected. Everything's connected, man. It's like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Everything's connected, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, there actually is a connection between everything. But yeah, this game is really, 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 really good, and I wish more people would will give it a chance. I wish Square Enix had more faith in this game. This game proves that there's still room in the market for traditional JRPGs. And not this dumbed down shit that Square Enix keeps on putting out. Oh yeah, you guys don't need a traditional JRPG. We'll just do this stupid shit right here. It'll be great. But that's just me. I mean, what do I know? I'm just a guy who's been playing JRPGs for years and years and years and years, like longer than some of these people have been alive. But what do I know? But yeah, this game is really good. You should definitely play it. And that's all I got to say about that. And in terms of Kotaku, I mean, look, this game, in order for you to do, and I haven't even done all the side quests because some of them are just really hard to kind of figure out what the hell is, like, where to go, how to do it. Because some of the side quests are like, I don't know what am I supposed to do? Damn it, where am I supposed to go? But the ones that I do know are actually pretty fun. So with that being said, I mean, you want to add anything else before we wrap things up? Wait, let me check the chat. If you guys have any questions about the game or anything.
Oh yes, there is one more news article I want to discuss before we wrap things up.
Okay.
Nintendo is suing console ROM sites for mass copyright infringement.
Ooh,
yeah, but not for the reason not for the reason you might think. The reason they're going after them is because they were offering people the option to play those games online. Like that's what got Nintendo. That's what got them in trouble. It wasn't the
ROMs themselves, but the online capabilities.
Yeah, it was them basically going after the ability. Oh, you can play this game on your PC, on your smartphone. It's like you fucked up right there, son.
Yeah, the moment some Nintendo hears online, be ready to see a banhammer coming your way.
Yeah. So yeah, they messed up, man. They now they got Mario and Luigi and the rest of them coming after their ass. I mean, I feel sorry for them. I don't like seeing people get
hammered.
Yeah, I don't like seeing people get sued. Because here's the thing. The reason most people emulate is because, generally speaking, especially when you're talking about emulation about some old shit, is that it's impractical to play on the original hardware, which I can understand. People are going to say, how can you listen, okay? Most of us do not still have our original NESs. That's abnormal to have your original NES.
And some systems, they're hard to emulate in the first place, and some games are lost to time itself.
Some games never came out. I mean, you never know. You just never ever know.
As I said, some things are lost to time itself, be it through not being released or just forgotten,
etc., etc. But you get what I'm saying. Like, people always forget that. So that's my whole. That's my thing. So yeah, that's all I'm saying. Trinell83 asked a question. Honestly, I think that Octopath Traveler is the successor of Bravely Default and Live Alive. Yeah, it has elements of Bravely Default, but really, it's really, the game really plays like a successor to Romancing Saga 3. Because even some of the character models feel like characters like riffs on Romancing Saga 3 characters. Like Oberek is Herod. Alphen looks almost exactly like Julius from Romancing Saga 3, like with the green hair. Even they both have kind of green hair in a mohawk. Except Alphen is an apothecary. But here's the thing: he's not a magic class, because the damage he does, like the apothecary class, for being such a for being supposedly being a magic class, he gets a huge boost to his vitality and physical attack, and he uses axes. It's weird, man. But that's neither here nor there. The game really good. If anyone tells you they beat the game in like 36 hours, they're lying to you. They're lying their asses off to you, because
there's no way you're gonna get everything out of that game that quick.
Exactly. There's no way. So, let's see. No other questions. Anything else you guys want to go over until we wrap things up?
No, that's about it.
All right. Okay, then. So this was a short cast, folks. Well, a little bit short. We're a little bit shorter. So that's the end of the podcast. Thank you for joining us. We always appreciate when people watch. Remember, rate, comment, share, subscribe. Join us next week, same bat time, same bat place. We also have the Sci-Fi Power Hour-ish on Saturdays, same time, except it's an hour, so 7:30 to 8:30. This one, about an hour and a half, 7:30 to 9.
It varies.
We're ending a little bit early because we basically covered everything. I should have some videos coming out next week talking about Octopath Traveler, because I've basically been playing the game a lot and I've got a lot of footage and I want to use it. So anything you guys want to pimp out before we wrap things up?
I think I'm good for now.
I just posted Joel and I just posted our thoughts on the first year.
We're a bit salted by the way.
About what?
Yeah.
Splatfest popularity went to the Octolings, but the Inklings got the victory in both wins.
That makes sense.
And one of our friends, well, they rubbed some sodium in our face.
Yeah. It's the same guy we met. I told you yesterday.
Kind of being borderline racist. Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know. Well, I mean, remember at the end of the day, it's just a game. Nothing serious. No one's life is on the line. With that being said, thank you for joining. That's the end of the podcast. Stay tuned next week where we'll cover some other stuff. So good night.
And happy Shark Week.
Responsibly.